Still says starting. There we go. What's up, everybody? Hey, guys, it's Josh Gayman. Welcome. And looks like we got people jumping on here like crazy. Guys, we're going to talk about cold calling on steroids tonight, the $100,000 per month lead source that nobody else is doing. There's a ton of you all already on here, and it looks like a ton more getting on by the second. Let me know what city or state you guys are jumping on from, guys and gals. I'm super excited. This is my most passionate subject. Everything starts with marketing. In fact, leads are the blood of this business, and marketing is the heart that pumps them. And in fact, if you're taking notes tonight, that's a great place to start right there. Again, I know we've already had a bunch of new people just logging on here right now, so welcome to all of you. Again, guys, my name is Josh Gayman, and we're going to talk about cold calling on steroids tonight, the $100,000 per month lead source that nobody else is doing. I see we got Atlanta in the house, Louisville, Kentucky, San Antonio. As you guys are getting on right now, I see you guys are just jumping on by the minute, quicker than the system can actually keep up. But as you guys are jumping on, let me know if you're newer to wholesaling, if you've been doing it for a while, what city you're in. And that's super excited to you, those of you that just got on right now. Again, guys, welcome. I'm Josh Gayman. We're going to talk about cold calling on steroids tonight, the $100,000 per month lead source that nobody else is doing. So I know we have a bunch of new people just logging on, like I said. So they're going to probably keep jumping on. We're going to get into it. We've got Florida, South Carolina, New York, Atlanta, again, all over the place. I see Phoenix on here a couple times. And crazy, we're already up to 126, guys. We had 900 people registered for tonight, so it's going crazy. I don't think the system's even catching up. All of a sudden, it's like, boom, and there's like 15 more cities. So Alabama, Florida, Arizona, Oregon, Pennsylvania. I literally now, Dallas, Texas, Baltimore. What's up? What's up? Baltimore again, Dallas, Winston-Salem. Yeah, Salt Lake City, sweet, Salt Lake. We're right there. We're 20 minutes away right here in Park City tonight. Guys, so I'm going to get into it right now. Super excited. It's 5 o'clock if you're out on the West Coast, 8 o'clock if you're on the East Coast. And here in Utah, let me give you guys a quick shot of my view where we are live. We got the team here, out here, and it's beautiful. So it's 6 o'clock right now here in Utah. But let's get into it, guys. The $100,000 per month lead source that nobody else is doing, cold calling on steroids. Now, this is something that took me from doing good in wholesaling to becoming a dominant force in Phoenix, which is a very competitive market, and doing multi-millions in wholesale fees per year, and doing so without a big team. And I'm so excited, guys. I know we have some newer wholesalers on the night, and that's awesome. I also know many of you already know how to do deals and just need more of them, and you probably wouldn't mind them at a much lower deal cost. Is that correct? If you agree, go ahead and let me know right there in the comments. Guys, so please let me know in the comments if you are newer or experienced, and if more deals at a substantially lower marketing cost sounds amazing to you, so that you can scale your business to the lifestyle of your dreams. Does that sound awesome? So it's funny, actually, we didn't even plan it this way, guys. But I had a trip out here to Utah for months scheduled with some of my closest friends that I'm out here with right now, James Hawk, Sean Terry, Kent Clothier. So what I did is I actually had my social media team come out here with me. They're right now here behind the scenes right now, helping everything be running right now for you guys. And so we could run this webinar live tonight, because there was no way we were going to possibly delay our last cold calling on steroids masterclass webinar registration night. And so the thing is, if you follow me on social media, you know that I'm constantly traveling and going on trips with my family. In fact, we're here in Utah, or from here in Utah. I'll be flying up to Eugene, Oregon to watch the Ducks take on Stanford, where I hold season tickets every year behind the Ducks bench right there on the 48-yard line. We recently bought a beach house overlooking the Pacific Ocean just this last year, where we frequently travel, take the family down. It's a 3-hour drive from my home in Phoenix. And guys, my point is this, that what I'm going to share tonight and the opportunity that I will give you can and will give you the life of your dreams if you do 3 things. Okay, so number 1, decide you're going to be successful. Number 2, take me up on my help, and which I'll give you more on at the end of the webinar tonight. And then number 3, apply what I show you that I've already been doing for several years now and made millions of dollars doing. Okay, does that sound fair enough? So who wants in? Let me know in the comments. That sounds good. So you guys know that to get more of these deals, you need more leads. Like I said earlier on the webinar, I literally live by the mantra, leads are the blood of this business, and marketing is the heart that pumps them. So this masterclass is more than how to do an assignment or get a deal sold, etc. This is an elite secret training with platforms, systems, and processes to take your lead costs down to as low as under $15 consistently, predictably, and on demand at the touch of your finger. This is so much better than a $300 or $400 a lead like direct mail or anything else out there. I mean, you guys know, you guys that are out there actively wholesaling and spending money on marketing, this is the game changer that you've been looking for in your business. And it's been keeping you up at night. How do I get more deals? How do I get my marketing costs down? How do I set up my sales force with cold calling? Guys, make sure to stick around till the end. Okay, we opened up 20 spots with the masterclass, and we're planning this one to be the last master's class that we do, okay, because of my travel schedule and the amount of deals that we're doing in my own Phoenix wholesaling business and the time that it takes me to work with students one-on-one inside of the masterclass. Okay, so we have 20 spots for the class, and 7 beast wholesalers have already registered, and they're current Flip Hackers students. So we have 13 spots available when I drop the link at the end tonight for you guys. So if you want that, you're down, let me know. Again, I know some people on here might be new or newish to wholesaling, and you're wondering if something like this is for you. And I'll touch more on that. But yes, anyone who is serious about wholesaling and being successful in this business should put their first marketing dollars into the education, the systems, and the processes that'll consistently bring you affordable leads so that you can do more deals and make a ton more money while spending less money in marketing to do so. And if you are already a seasoned investor, I will give you everything I use in my business, from the platforms, the lists, the systems, all of the SOPs to run a monster profiting cold calling channel in your business. That sound awesome? All right, cool. So this will always take care of your problem of not having enough deals, because it's going to give you constant leads that are instant, that are predictable, that are motivated, and that are insanely affordable. So now I'm guessing for a lot of you, this is probably not your first thought to add cold calling into your business, or you may have already been doing some sort of cold calling in your existing marketing strategy, and now you want to know how to step it up to a massive lifestyle changing level. And that's why you're here tonight. So I'm very excited for you and what your future holds in store for you. This will be the dot to an explosion in your business growth. Okay. But it's going to be up to you to not only take action in joining the masterclass, but then following through in the master's class with the action that I prescribe for you. And I'll personally see to it that you do that once you're in the masterclass. All right. I see somebody says all in, all down, son. Facts. I like it. Where do you register? What is SOPs? SOPs, guys, those are standing operating procedures. So that's how you run this whole beast profiting machine of cold calling on steroids. So guys, the first thing I want to do is mention that if you failed at getting phone deals in the past, it's not your fault. And there's a lot of information out there, a ton of misinformation too, and it can be confusing. Many times that information overload keeps you from success. It's okay. If you are having success, but you want to crank it up and you want to get the steroids, then you're in the right spot tonight, all right? So let's see here. We can go a couple slides forward. All good. One more. Boom. So if you've been concerned in the past that you can't massively succeed with cold calling, I want to put those fears to rest. You can do this. You just need the right person, explain it to you, and give you the right tools. And that's why I'm here tonight. And so, guys, your local competition wants you to think you need an enormous marketing budget to succeed in beating them to the deals, or that you need a huge sales team and a huge marketing budget. And I'm here to tell you that they're wrong. Now, they have their reasons for thinking that, but it's not true. All right, so if you've ever thought outbound cold calling was hard, work, or time-consuming, you were absolutely right, okay? Until now, hence the cold calling on steroids, baby. So let's see here. Go one more over there. Okay, so many would rather manage a whole team of hourly paid employees to do it for them. Maybe even hiring with VAs, or maybe even thinking that VAs will be the key. And they have their reasons for thinking that, but it's not the best way or the most effective. They just don't know the secret sauce to turn it all to be automated. Okay, so that's what you're here for. I know you're serious about doing more deals every month, and I know you're serious about making a ton more money with a fraction of the marketing cost. And I want to show you how you can make that happen during this webinar tonight. So my goal for this presentation is to help two types of people. For those who are newer to wholesaling or those who are already doing multiple deals per month, you'll get the opportunity to learn how to make a ton more money in your wholesale business and how to create more time and freedom and achieve your personal goals much, much faster with this added deal source. So does that sound awesome? So who would like to do that? Let me know in the comments, guys. Who would like to learn how to get leads super cheap and make a ton of money and absolutely crush it with cold calling in their wholesaling business? And without having to have the fear of spending thousands of dollars per campaign forever and just pray that you get a deal off of the campaign to break even. Okay, so how many of you would like to be able to say you spend under $1,000 a month and make anywhere from $25,000 to $250,000 a month? Okay, does that sound good? Now you can spend more than $1,000 a month, but even with just a small marketing budget, like I said, you can do a six-figure wholesaling business per month because you can get your leads so cheap. You've just got to know how to do it, how to have the right resources. You got to know what to do to work the process, and that's exactly what cold calling on steroids is, and why it was created. So I created this system for doing cold calling on steroids. Everybody's like, what is RVM? What is the difference? So here's the thing, guys. Well, RVM does not call home phones, right? It only calls cell phones, which in week 1, you'll later find out that the key to this whole cold calling thing is home phones. And I'll tell you more about why. Not only that, but RVM is over 5 times the cost per outgoing call than cold calling on steroids. And it doesn't give you any education that cold calling on steroids gives you. After all, I did personally train the owner of RVM and creator of RVM on this cold calling thing, who also happens to be here in Park City, Utah with me right now at dinner. I'll be meeting up with them later after I'm done here on the webinar with you guys, so I'm really excited about. But guys, here's the thing. RVM lacks the key components, which are the total game changers, and RVM is also way more expensive to run. So I created this because it's what I've been doing to absolutely dominate for years now. And I'm doing this masterclass again because I have students making millions of dollars around the country who have let me know the impact it's had on their lives and their kids' lives and their spouses' lives. And I know this cold calling thing works the best. Okay, I've had the most success with it. I never set out to be known as like the cold calling guy or anything like that. But after years in the business and hundreds of thousands literally spent on direct mail and Google pay-per-click and other online forms and cold calling, I mastered maximizing my marketing spend, return on investment, and keeping that cost low so that I could have a business that most only dream of. And as a huge believer in the abundance mindset, I want you to have the same thing. And so I know exactly how to get the leads, how to scale the process, and have it change your business and your life. And I know these things firsthand and do them every day in my own business. So like I said, I know that's what you're here for. And you've been waiting. And I finally have opened back up the doors. I've been getting bombarded with messages about it, and I would have done it sooner if we weren't so busy crushing deals in my wholesaling office in Phoenix, but we've made the time, and I'm ready to take you by the hand to change your business and your life. And it all starts tonight. So are you guys excited? If you are, please let me know in the comments, guys. I love the feedback, and I'm freaking stoked for you guys. All right, so now I know you're serious about doing more deals every month. I know you're serious about making a ton more money. And you're serious about cutting your marketing expenses down, increasing your profits way up. And so, again, this presentation is to help 2 types of people. Those who are newer to wholesaling or those who are doing multiple deals already per month. So you'll get the opportunity to learn how to make a ton more money in your wholesale business and also to create more time and freedom. You'll be able to achieve your personal goals much, much faster once you have cold calling on steroids in place. So, okay, take a minute and think about what your life would be like if in 6 months from now, you had leads and deals on demand in your business and you knew exactly, precisely how to make the phone ring with them at an incredibly cheap rate. Guys, I've got to say, it's a great feeling being at the beach house with the wife and kids on the weekend and knowing that we have leads pouring in back at the office that we're going to be closing and cash coming into the bank account consistently. All right, guys. So my goal for tonight's web class is to make it crystal clear to you that 2 things. Number 1, the only way to consistently do more deals for low cost is through cold calling, which I am aware most of you are probably aware of by now, but maybe not so with my second goal, which is that number 2, the only way to cold call successfully and not be leaving tons of money on the table and missing deals and doing it wrong or not doing it all is to do it through cold calling on steroids. And so obviously that is why you're here. And I will take you by the hand through my master's class if you're ready to take action tonight and change your business and your life. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Joshua Gayman, and I'm teaching this information because I would be a total jerk not to teach it to those who are serious about wholesaling and ready to take their business to the next level. So is that you? Also, a very small part of why I'm teaching it is that I've made millions of dollars from cold calling for wholesale real estate deals. I'm a member of Sean Terry and Kent Clothier's top-level real estate mastermind, Billionaire Boardroom, recently featured in Entrepreneur Magazine's top 10 business masterminds. I've been a licensed real estate agent for 9 years and been flipping properties since 2009 in Phoenix, Arizona, as well as in my hometown of Portland, Oregon. I've bought, sold, and most passionately wholesaled millions and millions of dollars in wholesale fees. And lastly, I take a ton of the excess cash and buy rental properties for passive income. Okay, so do any of you know how sometimes life seems to play cruel jokes on you and put you through times that you really have no understanding of why you're going through? And then these times just seem to be pointless challenges and kind of just make life tougher. But then later on, something happens and an opportunity presents itself that you never would have been able to identify without having first gone through those struggles. Well, I had that happen in a big way. Let me take you back over a decade to a Phoenix Chevy car dealership where I was standing on a 110-degree sales point. Now, a sales point is a physical location at an auto dealership that salespeople have identified as the best place to stand and spot incoming sales traffic onto the car lot. So you stand there, someone pulls into the lot, you say, "Up red car," and then you're the salesperson who gets to go up and greet them and then try to sell them a car that day. So now it was so hot, it was over 100 degrees, and I had just moved to Arizona from Portland, and it was so hot that if you stood in the same place for more than about 30 seconds, the soles on the bottom of your shoes would literally actually begin to melt. And at first I thought that the only reason they would allow one salesperson outside at a time was because of the heat. But what I actually learned after coming inside was that they had 10 times the amount of salespeople needed for their actual incoming traffic to the dealership. And instead, all of these, salespeople that they would hire were really phone lead generators for the dealership. And what they referred to as their sales team was really a cold calling on steroids team. And the quota for the day for all sales personnel was to set 2 appointments for the day. You had to set 2 appointments before you could go home, and you check into your manager and you say, "I've got 2 appointments confirmed," and then you could go home. And if you were not hitting your quota, then your odds of getting any of that warm foot traffic, which is traffic that's already coming into the store without a scheduled sales appointment from calling, were slim to none. So if you're not setting any of your own appointments from cold calling, they were not going to just give you any of the leads that were already coming in to the dealership from their much more expensive paid advertising that they were just throwing dollars at, right, with their marketing. And so I started to see what they were really doing. They would hire 10 times as many salespeople as they needed and put everyone on the phone so that they could get insane amounts of outbound phone calls to generate cheap leads for the store, right? It's brilliant. And so can everybody hear okay? I saw a thing. I think we should be good. Okay. Now the showroom, guys, they're areas where they were set up with tiny sales tables all over the place. And so we've got the showroom and tiny tables all over the place. And each table contained a phone and a computer where salespeople, right, would sit and make their cold calls. So the space was designed to also sit and work a car deal with customers, but really 90% of the time was spent just sitting alone in your air-conditioned space, smiling and dialing for hours, trying to get them 2 leads. And leaving on time for the day without those 2 set appointments would be challenging for anyone. In fact, the best shot was to have 100 recorded contacts that day for your efforts. Truthfully, it would sometimes take several hundred calls to set just 1 appointment. And what was so interesting to me was how the auto industry turned something like cold calling, okay, an outbound prospecting tool that has stood the test of time, and turned it into an enormous lead generation machine. Now, when I say they took something that's been around forever and it's the most time-tested and proven model, understand that until technology got to where it is today, it was only a prospecting model. It could never really be for marketing. And what I mean by that, it's a prospecting model, is that you had to go to each person. So it took a lot of work and it took a lot of time to do that, to get those touches. But the dealerships were turning this into a lead generation machine by leveraging tons of people, right? They had 10 times as many salespeople as they actually needed. And really, they were all just marketers for the dealership, okay? Now, it's important to understand here the difference between marketing and prospecting, okay? So prospecting is when you go to the customer looking for leads, and marketing, is when the leads come to you. You drive leads to you. It usually takes money. Now, usually this takes a ton of money, okay? Except for in the case of cold calling on steroids, which is why we're all here tonight. So the auto dealerships had turned cold calling into marketing through leveraging mass employees, right? More mass people. The problem for me, right, and like many others, was that making all these calls every day, it really sucked. Okay. So obviously, given this type of work environment, the turnover at the dealership incredibly high. It was not uncommon to see 20 new salespeople per month cycle in and replace 20 salespeople leaving. And so through a ton of sheer will, determination, and thousands upon thousands of cold calls, I was able to one day get successfully promoted to sales manager, where I would later actually realize that just like the salespeople's job was really to cold call, my job to manage sales was really to manage the outgoing call volume for the team. I was like the cold calling on steroids manager, if you will. And I didn't really like that job, by the way. So through a ton of sheer will, So now, if you're thinking that this was just one of the, it's on the last slide, one dealership's way of doing things, know that the dealership I'm referring to is the #1 Chevy store in Arizona. It's owned by Berkshire Hathaway. The same model is used throughout most mega dealerships around the country and has been for decades. So like Larry Miller, Van Tile, Lithia, et cetera, et cetera. And after several years of working in the car business, getting beat with cold calling, follow-up, and grueling hours, I began to read up on real estate and attend local REIA meetings. Okay. So I literally just had somebody text me, a cold calling student, deal under contract, something, $60,000 thing, I think. That was crazy. I just got a new Mac so I could do this cold calling webinar for you guys here. And it now shows my iMessages on my phone. So I'm doing this live webinar, and literally John Saturnow, who actually I'm going to show you guys on fire. Anyway, where was I? So I was getting beat up in the car business, right? And while working hard towards my goal of becoming a full-time real estate person, getting out of the car business, I actually became a master sales closer, learning the car business and knowing that with the numbers of real estate being so much bigger than the numbers in cars, I would only need to do just a few sales to replace my auto sales income. And so I took the jump into real estate. So I know to be successful and take the whole island, you've got to burn the boats, right? Like Tony Robbins says. And this is true for anything you really want in life, whether it's to be successful, a successful wholesaler, a successful business owner, or anything else. You've got to commit 100% with the best mental state possible and decide you are going to succeed no matter what. And that's the mindset you've got to have coming into wholesaling or into this webinar and definitely into the master's class. So I burned the bridges of being an employee and I dove into real estate, and I was so grateful for all that I had learned in sales from cars. While the old desire had been to get out of working for someone else, the internal journey I had gone on had transformed me into someone who was much more acutely aware of not only sales, but also marketing, and specifically cold calling. And so now those two things have played the biggest impact on my success from a tactical standpoint in real estate investing. Now, you obviously don't need to learn how to sell cars for 5 years or work at a Berkshire Hathaway on mega dealership to understand the significance of results from cold calling on a big scale. And here's how most wholesalers traditionally get scalable deal flow. And you guys on here doing lots of deals already know this well. They pay a ton of money for direct mail and Google AdWords. And here's why that's hard. You have little control over timing, and you have incredibly high costs. I see a lot of people and they're like, yep. Okay, so with cold calling on steroids, it makes this awesome lead source scalable, and you don't have to pay thousands to get deals like with direct mail. These leads are cheap, okay, and they're amazing. In fact, they're my favorite leads. So how many of you guys want cheap leads? How many of you want amazing leads? So yeah, everybody's like, yes, me, ready. Okay, if you do, guys, if you want cheap, amazing leads, put that in the comments and let me know, because like seriously, this is unreal, okay? So guys, cold calling on steroids makes this awesome lead source scalable. You don't have to pay thousands, like I was saying, okay? And not only does this work for me, but we have current students all over the country absolutely crushing it with cold calling on steroids. California, Arizona, up to the Northwest. We got New York, Philly, Texas, Tennessee, Florida, many other markets in between. I don't have time to go list every single one right now. There's literally not a market in the country that this strategy and this lead source doesn't work in, okay? So guys, here's where we're going to get into it. Here's what we're going to cover during the next half hour or so. Number one, I call this secret inbound cold calling. And this is how to turn the most proven, time-tested prospecting method of cold calling into instant, consistent, and profitable inbound leads for your business, okay? After that, we're going to talk about secret number two, which is app hacking. This is how you use automation to replace what would be hours spent on the phone or the need for a whole cold calling team or call center. And then secret number three, guys, this is my marketing budget hack. And this is how to get inbound motivated seller leads as low as $5, okay? All right, so who would like to be able to turn the most time-proven, time-tested prospecting method of cold calling into consistent, profitable inbound leads for your business. Does that sound like you? I mean, that's amazing, right? And to have leads to work every single day? Like, yes. Okay. So secret number one, again, how to turn the most proven, time-tested prospecting method of cold calling into consistent, instant, and profitable inbound leads for your business. Everybody's like, get some. Yes. Boom. Let's do it. All right, cool. So let me tell you guys a quick story. You guys remember when I told you about working at the car dealership and how it would take several hundred calls to get just a single appointment? I remember sitting there one day staring at a blank computer screen, frozen solid. And I'd only been there like a couple days, and the thought of making cold calls terrified me. Honestly, it did. My hands were sweaty, even though my body was cold. My mind was racing with thoughts of how I could get out of making these calls. And then I thought I had the excuse. I walked up to the sales manager and I told him, I don't really know what to say when I call these people. Now, luckily, he may have ripped into most FNG guys, okay, which is a car business acronym for blank new guy. You guys can probably fill in the blank there. But instead, he took me into his private office and he started cold calling right in front of me so that I could observe. And now this isn't about getting over the fear of making calls. That's not the point here. What was insane to me was that he was saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over, and really didn't care what the response was unless it was an answer that meant they were a lead. And then once that happened, then he would continue with his script and ask some qualifying questions. Okay. So after that, I realized I just needed to get my tone down in delivering that same qualifying opening phrase he asked on every call, and the numbers would actually work themselves out massively in my favor. Okay. And that message was so simple. Like, do you want to buy a car? Or in our case now, do you want to sell your house? Okay. So just like any other lead source, it's a total numbers game that works so simply. Where's the beef in your presentation, buddy? Karina, jump in the masterclass and you'll get everything. We've got a whole bunch more tonight. We're actually just getting into number 1 of 3. So a whole bunch more here. Anyways, guys, just like any other lead source, right? Like I said, it's a total numbers game and it works so simple. So you've got X amount of homeowners. They're always going to be in the market to sell. Okay. And it's the same reason that wholesaling isn't going anywhere. So there's always going to be homeowners currently looking to sell. And if I can call, Z amount per day, I'm going to reach Y amount, right? And I'm going to get X amount of deals. And now I can put that on steroids. Okay. So the cool thing is that the numbers of cold calling, they don't just work for me. It works for all kinds of people. In fact, it really doesn't matter if you can't get over the routine of asking the same question over and over and over again, because you don't have to do it. In fact, you're probably thinking you don't know what to say, right? Well, I've perfectly scripted the message, which is what I've used for years. And you might have heard it. I've seen it float around every major wholesale Facebook group. Honestly, I think that's fantastic. I saw someone actually had typed it out and posted a PDF of it inside of one of them a few months back. And I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, well, that's my script. But there is so much more to it. So I was like, well, that's awesome. And that's going to help whoever sees it, but there's so much more to it. Now I'm going to give you that exact script with my tone inside the Cold Calling on Steroids member site, and you can actually listen to that script. Okay. And from teaching others this method, I've learned that one of the biggest keys is to have that tone correct in your call. Okay. So if you sound like you're a script, they're going to call you back. Or I'm sorry, if you sound like you're a script, they're not going to call you back, right? At least not to talk about selling their house. So I recently had someone tell me they copied my script and they weren't getting any leads. And when they told me the call volume, I immediately knew something was off, because when you do this, like, it just works. You can't have it not work. So there's 1 or 2 things off. When that happens, we can always get it fixed really quick. So I'm like, okay, you're doing enough volume of calls. Like, something's broken. I don't know yet what, but something's definitely off. Let me hear a message. I tell her. So she pulls it up and we listen to it. And she looks at me and she goes, I know it sounds a little scripted, but I kind of sound like a robot, but I wanted to make sure that I got your script downloaded forward. And I laughed. I'm like, so I explained to her that there's only really 3 key points in my message that generate a callback, right? It's kind of like direct mail. So you got like, as is, cash, super easy. You pick the date, right? And that really it's the tone that I'm using that's much, much more important than the exact order of every single word in the message. Does that make sense? So it was an easy fix. And as soon as she re-recorded that, or her message, focusing on just those few key points and making the message come across as completely authentic, in her voice, she watched as the leads poured in. And so And then she called me like the next week, or it might have been, I guess it was like 2 weeks later because she went back to the first week. She made the change. And then a week after that, she calls me freaking out like, Josh, like, I don't know what to do. We have more leads than we know how to manage. Like, how do we sort through all these leads? And so I'm like, all right, here's how you qualify them. And we talked mindset, closing, growth, you know, stuff we cover in the master's class now as well. And their business has never been the same since. I mean, seriously, explosive growth. They're in Southern California market. So guys, I'll give you all of that too. Like what you do when you have insanely high amounts of leads coming in. Like, how do I deal with that? Do I hire a leads manager? What's that look like? So that's why cold calling on steroids was born, right? Because I kept getting these questions and DMs and phone calls and emails. So I was like, let's put this together and make it simple for people who are ready to take on a leads machine beast like this is. Okay. So now, I've shown you how you just need to record a simple message, and using the cold calling on steroids system, you can generate tons of people to respond with, yes, I'm interested in selling my house. Like, is that awesome? Isn't that amazing? I mean, you can literally record a message and then hit a button, and you have people calling you instantly that are like, yeah, I want to sell my house. What will you give me? I mean, come on. Like, leads just, like, you get from direct mail, but now it's costing you like nothing per lead almost, as opposed to hundreds of dollars for just a single lead with direct mail, right? And it's amazing. Seriously, guys. Okay. So secret number 2 then is how to use automation to replace what would be hours spent on the phone or need for a cold calling team. Okay. Now from 2009 to 2014, I made a ton of money cold calling for real estate deals. So now I've gotten out of the car business and I'm in real estate. I'm still doing tons of cold calling, prospecting, right? Where I'm calling them physically. I had a couple callers and stuff. We could only make so many calls ourselves. And I had to manage all them and their drama, right? And mostly being only one person that did not want to manage a huge team of callers, like so many of my friends who didn't seem to be making any more money for all the time and money they had to spend back out on their payroll. So I was limited in what I could scale for my business, doing the calls myself and with light help. And in 2014 and the start of 2015, I had gotten to a good place with scaling direct mail, but the high cost and competition were always there. In fact, at that time, we were spending $40,000 per month just in Google pay-per-click, not even counting how much we were spending in direct mail. We had at least 10,000 pieces of direct mail hitting every single week. Back then, I would also often call our mail list through a triple dialer, or portions of it because we were mailing a lot. And this is where I came to the realization that it is actually much more time effective when people do not answer the phone. That's a big nugget right there. So hope you guys take notes of that, regardless of what you do after the webinar tonight. Much more time effective when people do not answer the phone. Okay. Israel, go giver. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. It's abundance mindset. That's what we're all about. And so the reason being is that with cold calling, the reason that I say that it's actually much more effective when people do not answer the phone is that with cold calling, you can spend a ton of time talking to chatty Cathys that don't really want to get off the phone with you, but they also never have any intention of selling their home. And that's not at all efficient. And so this also means it doesn't matter if I was physically leaving the message hundreds of times or if I was recording it once and then automating the whole thing through apps, through app hacking. So then one day I was sitting at my desk, right, dealing with some mail leads, and my partner, Mark, he brought up a conversation he just had with a local rehabber who touted having 30 fix and flips going on simultaneously in Phoenix at the time. And I'm like, 30 deals? What are they doing to get a huge pipeline like that? That's holy smokes. The guy had explained to Mark that they had a low marketing budget and that all the deals were coming off of cold calling. And so now do you remember the story I told you about how the mega car dealerships have mega cold calling teams to get the volume needed to use it as a consistent and highly profitable lead source? Because that's the key to what was now coming together for me at this very moment as Mark's telling me the simplicity of what this other rehabber is doing to find deals. A light bulb comes on as I now saw a way to get mass cold calls out every single day without having to hire any callers, right? And without trying to hold myself accountable to a task that, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, is truly unsustainable and it's unrealistic. Like sitting there dialing for hours on hours like Will Smith in the movie Pursuit of Happiness, right? Who's seen that movie? And that's why most call centers have turnover on average of under 30 days. People burn out quickly doing that. It's a grind. Managing that and them is even more so of a grind. That cruel joke, though, of going through the car business had paid off for me again. So first it was through my sales training, but now through marketing insight. And that has 100% been a golden goose that just keeps delivering gold and business explosion in the form of wholesale deals and monster checks. Now, back then, I had beta versions of cold calling on steroids going out the next day, and I immediately had leads pouring in from that. So now when you send out that many pieces of direct, oh, whoops, I went too many. Sorry. There we go. We hit at the same time. When you send out that many pieces of marketing, in this case with two dynamics, right? You have the words you say and the tone you say them in. You can't help but constantly be getting leads that are ready to sell now or in the next 7 days. Like you're going to get those working leads. And it's crazy, you guys. By the way, you can't put tonality, something we cover a lot in the master's class, into a piece of direct mail. It's just not possible. So seriously, guys, I had it. It was Carlton was supposed to be able to dance on the slide, but I'm not great with technology, so he's not dancing there. But guys, when Carlton's dancing, like you get into the little Carlton dance, if you guys watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air back in the day, that's how good it feels when you have solid leads instantly that are good. I mean, that's what it feels like. So, oh, is he dancing? Sweet. All right, cool. So now over the past 4 years, we've improved the system, okay, to unheard of levels in the industry, hence the wholesale household phrase cold calling on steroids and RVM, like who I said, I trained the guy, that came out with that. Now, the reason this all exploded is because it works. Guys, I am not a guru. And any of you that follow me know I'm a silly guy that loves to wholesale houses and have a good time with my family and my team at work. And what I am is 100% as my good friend Maxwell puts it, a guru. Okay, we generate hundreds of leads in our office every single month, and have done so for years, making millions of dollars in wholesale fees. Now we have had several $100,000 months from this one lead source alone over the years. And yeah, guys, there's a ton more in the masterclass. There's no way in an hour I could go through everything. I hope you guys are excited and you come away with some big ahas, and you either take action tonight, jump in the masterclass, or at least are aware of some things that are going to up your game. And if you stay in this business and you get around the people that are actively doing it, I promise, even if you're not able to get in the masterclass or choose not to, what you apply will change everything. It will lower your lead costs. You'll get more deals if you do it. Okay. So now, guys, in fact, last month, August 2018, literally just last month, we generated $180,000 in closings, and $120,000 of that was from cold calling on steroids. Now, right there, you can see that's a screenshot I posted on Instagram. I'm old school, and so I have a scoreboard. And every month I fill it out. I have my acquisitions, dispositions, and then closing. So this is the closing side here. That means those checks actually hit the bank. And so I'm old school the way I track that, but I love it. The last deal of the month was a $60,000 deal that came from something else. That was what got us to 180, but we had 120 just from cold calling. It was an awesome month. And then here in this next slide, guys, here's the first house actually that I remember that I ever closed from cold calling on steroids. We made over $35,000 on the deal by wholetailing this house. And about a week later, we closed on our second deal from cold calling on steroids. It was a mobile home. I think it was actually in Mesa as well, if I remember correctly. It was on owned land, which means it was a mobile home, but it was actually on the real estate, not in the park or anything like that. And we made a super quick $12,000 assignment fee on that mobile. And guys, this doesn't just work for me. I have a friend in the business who many people know who literally abandoned direct mail after I shared my cold calling secrets with him. This guy's a guru and does over $100,000 per month in wholesaling. He tried to do his own way first, and he hired 4 callers, and he had a partner manage those 4 callers. Within 2 months, he converted completely over to my system. He's like, all right, take me through this. Like, all right. So somebody's like, be patient. It's a sales pitch. Yeah, you'll have the opportunity for everything at the end, guys, if you want like every single nuts and bolts. But there's a lot here, and it's all got to be set up so you understand the mindset of what we're doing here. All right, guys. So real quick, here in the next slide, here's our numbers for 2017. You can see right there. Now that's just 2017, and you're probably thinking, that sounds great, Josh. But how am I going to figure out how to piece everything together and make this happen, right? That's what you guys are saying. Like, what's next? What's next? All right. Not only have we learned many things to get our costs down insanely low as we've ramped up our call volume over the years, and certainly we've gotten much better at lists and phone numbers and lookup resources, what to say, etc. Okay, but we've also completely mastered the entire process from outgoing click of the cold calling on steroids campaign to the list, frequency of calling those lists, volume per day and week, and lead intake process to make the entire lead machine amazingly simple and profitable. Now, whether you are here tonight with a limited monthly marketing budget, or you can spend at will to get as many leads as possible to your team. We have a route to implement the system immediately and turn your business into a profit monster with cold calling on steroids. We're always keeping our eyes peeled for updates possible through new technology, keeping all of our current and past masterclass students aware through our private Facebook community. In fact, once you join the masterclass, you become part of an elite group of wholesale investors all over the country with access to each other. Now, with this network, there is incredible information, incredible support. With the cold calling on steroids system, we've made it so simple that I could literally have my 13-year-old daughter run an entire cold calling on steroids campaign and dump the leads right into my email or cell phone. All right. So now I've shown you how to use automation to replace the would-be hours spent on the phone or need for a cold calling team. How sweet is that? Okay. Now you can use automation. You don't have to spend hours on the phone. You don't have to go out there and hire a team. You can tomorrow have a call center going on without having any of the headaches and payroll. It's amazing. All right. So secret number 3 then is the marketing budget hack, guys. This is how to get inbound motivated seller leads as low as $5. Okay. Now, I remember when I first started doing direct marketing for real estate deals, and it took me more deals than I'd care to admit to get out of that deal-to-deal mentality. And a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. Start consistently setting aside and growing my marketing budget so that I always had funds to stay consistent with deals. But hey, direct mail is really expensive, all right? Now, after spending tens of thousands of dollars already at the time on direct mail, you can probably imagine how excited I was when I found a connection to get my wholesale marketing message to targeted lists through the phone for 2.5 pennies versus the 40 to 70 cents I paid to mail them. All right. Now, depending on which mail piece, post house, etc., right, for that cost. Now, this means I could now get the same amount of leads for $125 through the phone that I would have had to spend $3,500 on in direct mail. Guys, that's a 97% reduction in marketing costs. And I know all big wholesalers out there agree the highest cost is marketing. But with cold calling on steroids, you can keep your marketing spend and your overhead incredibly low. So this means you, as the business owner, keep your profits. And that's how you achieve the lifestyle, not just making a ton of money and keeping a little bit, but truly have it all. Guys, this is how I make hundreds of thousands of dollars without managing a giant team and stressing about overhead every month like most big business owners do, which they don't tell anyone because they want to keep their image up, especially the gurus. I have to tell you, it kills me. So many of these marketers I see that barely do any deals, right? If any going on. And many of them are still teaching people to spend on expensive direct mail and stupid stuff that they're not doing in their own business. Drives me crazy. And what's incredible is through the evolution of the cold calling on steroids platform, now into the 2.0, we've gotten the cost even lower, down to less than a penny per record. Yes, that's less than 1 penny per outgoing message to a homeowner. Okay. So no matter what your budget is, and no matter what your experience is, this is the most affordable and best way to do this business, period. Okay. Because of the savings then that we were able to orchestrate through the best list provider in the industry, we were able to afford to buy lists and call them all. And I hope some of you guys are thinking right now, like, yes, Josh, and I think some of you guys already said it, drop the freaking link so I can get in. Like, whatever it is, let's go right now. All right. So I get it, guys. Good. Okay. In fact, I know several of you, somebody says how much, we're going to get to that in just a minute, guys. In fact, I know several of you were already at that place of wanting to just like, let me do it prior to this training. And I do appreciate your patience. If you weren't already in Flip Hackers and so you weren't one of the students who was able to pre-enroll, shout out to Flip Hackers. Then thank you for your patience, right? To you and others who will have your opportunity to jump into the private master's class here in just a few minutes. Okay. But guys, here's the thing. How amazing is it that we can get our costs down under a penny per outgoing marketing piece sent versus 40 cents or 70 cents or even $1. And to think there's gurus out there saying drop more mail, like I said, it makes me absolutely cringe. Guys, you just need the correct info and help to implement the proven process and success model. Okay, we're not talking about going from $1 to 70 cents or from 70 cents to 40 cents or like with direct mail prices. Okay, we're not even talking about going down to 2.5 cents now. We're literally talking about less than a penny per outgoing marketing piece. That's unreal, you guys. It's really that good. No, it's not Sly Broadcast. Now you'll have the best resources, processes, and systems possible. And I'm telling you, it's absolutely game over. When you jump into the class and you take action, you will level up. No, it's not RVM. So we were talking about this earlier tonight, guys. I actually trained the creator of our RVM. RVM is over 5 times as expensive. Does not work with home phone numbers, okay, which is, we go over that in depth in the masterclass, but that is the best list and list section you want to be hitting. So there's a ton of differences in that. It's not even close. I don't want to say anything bad about that platform or whatever, because like I said, good friend of mine who's in Utah with me right now, I'm gonna go meet up with them for dinner. No, this is not RVM. It's 100 times better. Okay. Guys, through this system, it's really easy to level up, like I was talking about. Okay. We don't have to hire and train a bunch of employees, deal with payroll. We don't have to make our life suck by sitting on a dialer all day long, like I said, like Will Smith in that movie. But we would if we had to, right? Wouldn't we? Because we're action takers, and that's why we succeed. So this class comes with the keys and the instruction manual to succeed more than you ever could by manually dialing numbers all day, every day. And you don't even have to do that. It will give you more power than direct mail ever could, and it won't tie up your cash like a direct mail marketing budget. Okay? Again, it's not just me that this works for. A co-member who's in Billionaire Boardroom with me, he's out here right now as well, Jerry Stevens, out of North Carolina. He just had his marketing manager run through cold calling on steroids. Well, actually now it's been several months back now. On his first campaign, he got over 40 leads and 6 deals. Okay? Incredible. Like, it's insane. So now you know how to get hot, motivated seller leads under as low as $5. How incredible is that? Is that incredible? I mean, well, if you think that's incredible, let me know. Obviously, like, that's freaking goes without saying. That's ridiculous. Okay. So let me ask you a question. How do we get the system? I'll let you guys know right now. If you follow, skip tracing, all that stuff, guys, all that, promise, every single detail, you will know the best way to do everything, and you will be doing it. Okay. So if you followed what I showed you in secret number 1, okay, and you allow the most proven, time-tested prospecting method of cold calling to give you consistent and profitable inbound leads for your business, and then you do what I showed you in secret number 2, you completely simplify and automate your entire system so that the only thing you do on the phone is talk to real motivated seller leads. And then because of secret number 3, you can afford to keep it always going and have consistent leads coming in at an insanely affordable cost, resulting in assignment fees and profits as high as hundreds to 1 return on investment. Do you think that would change your business and your life? Yes, a lot of them were newbies and have been newbies. It's usually about a 60-40 split. About 60% of the people come through the masterclass experienced doing a lot of deals. We've had some huge hitters come through there, a lot of mega players, and about 40% are typically newbies. And I'll share a whole bunch of testimonials with you guys here in just a minute with names. So guys, let's look at Daniel Evers in Florida. Okay. Daniel just made over $55,000 off of a $300 campaign. That's a 183 to 1 return on his marketing investment right there. Guys, we see this all the time, and these are unheard of returns anywhere else that I've ever known of in any business. And now that he has that list and those numbers, he can call that campaign every few months and pull more and more deals off of even less marketing spend with that. Okay. 30 minutes back. I don't know, but you could jump off now if you want and go out and drink a beer again. So guys, I get DMs and texts from students all over the country literally every day thanking me and telling me about deals they're getting with cold calling on steroids. Guys, I did a $120,000 deal last year from this lead source. I go over exactly where I got that deal in the masterclass, by the way. And we closed 2 in March of this year. Just those 2 deals. One of them was a $71,000 deal. One of them was a $60,000 profit. So $131,000 off of just 2 deals and just in March of this year from campaigns that cost us under $300 each. I already told you about last month and the $180,000 we did. Well, $120,000 from cold calling. Do you think this could change your business and make your wholesaling business that much more successful? Corey says compliance, week 2, we hammer compliance as well, Corey. And there is a lot of stuff. Yeah, for sure. Now, I know for many of you, your direct mail count per month is in direct proportion to your bank account balance and what you can afford to get out for the month. Look, that's not going to be a problem anymore with cold calling on steroids. Even with a huge marketing budget, you only need a small amount every month to get the volume of leads in order to level up and crush it with this lead channel. Okay. So you just have to get the system and know how to do it. So let me ask you guys this. Do you think this could change your business? Okay. Do you think this could make your wholesaling business that much more successful? Let me ask you a question. How many of you guys are excited about what we just talked about? You guys excited? Who's excited? I know some of you guys are like, let me get to it, or like, whatever. Like, I just want it, like, whatever. Hey, I've been there, right? Like, I get it. I feel you. And I really don't care because I know we're going to have action takers. I know we're going to fill the masterclass again. And I know we're going to have more life-changing results and testimonials like I'm just about to show you here in a minute. Okay. So payment plan, I see like comments are coming in now faster than I can keep up with. There's a whole lot of that stuff. Brent Daniels, TTP. Yep. I've worked with Brett. Taught a bunch of stuff, guys. There's no one out there that's doing anything cold calling, okay, that didn't get stuff from it, right? That's where it all came. I taught Sean, RVM came out, and then the whole world, right? But there's still the best way to do it and the best sources. And I promise you, most people don't know of them because unless you come through the masterclass, like we don't just give out the secrets, okay? So we do give out nuggets, right, on our social media every day and on the webinar like tonight, okay? But we're not going to give everything, right, except for those who are ready to handle this. Like, we're not just going to put, a grenade in a kid, like it's just too much for people that aren't ready. So, all right, guys, let me ask you a question. Like I said, who's excited? Please let me know. Okay. I love it. Right. All right. How many of you guys are feeling a little overwhelmed because you don't know exactly what to do next and the best way to immediately take action and crush this thing? It's okay, guys. You can admit it. How many of you are like, Josh, just tell me exactly what to do next? I know I saw a bunch of you guys already saying that. All right. So let's do it. So is it okay with you guys if I spend about 10 minutes going over a very special offer I created to help you implement cold calling on steroids? Yes, that's good.
I'm excited, overwhelmed. I'm excited.
Overwhelmed, excited. All right. So let's get into all right. So this is a 4-week private masterclass, okay, with only a limited number of seats for optimal success. Now, I will take you by the hand to make sure that you immediately crush it. And here's what we're going to cover. So in week 1, we're going to talk about the 3 hottest lists I use and inside cold calling on steroids and how and where to get mass phone numbers for them for cheap. And then week 2, we'll go over qualifying the calls to leads and how to automate the process. And we'll also talk about compliance, like I was mentioning. Now, in week 3, we're going to go live and we're going to dive into the water together, getting your marketing campaigns out. And then finally, in week 4, you're live in the ocean of cold calling leads. We're in it together and we're optimizing your campaign and your sales staff in the process, whether you have sales staff or it's just you doing it. Now, guys, the best part is you will have one-on-one sessions and access to me in this class, as well as, like I mentioned before, other masterclass students out there crushing it all over the country. Now, after that, you continue to have access to me because, guys, I'm committed that anyone who accepts my help in this business and burns the boats behind them to achieve financial freedom and success in wholesaling has every chance I can possibly give them to absolutely crush it from the very start. Okay, one of my favorite new cold calling student success stories is Dean. And Dean was at a real estate investing seminar last year, and Sean Terry brought me up on stage to talk about cold calling. So soon after that, Dean contacted me about coaching and implemented some tips I gave him about cold calling. So went through some one-on-one coaching. And within 2 weeks, he sent me this text. Pretty nice, right? Now, this system is an absolute must for anyone who's looking to get their first check, okay, or who is already successful and looking to scale. Now, if this is something that you are considering, and if you consider yourself a serious investor, then obviously you are, make sure that you immediately send in your application, okay? Like, seriously, guys, immediately, because last time I had people emailing me when the doors closed, but due to the value of this product being so incredibly high and my commitment to spend the time to personally make sure results are obtained for you guys, I have to keep the private master's class to 20 spots, okay? So seriously, do not wait. This is not something you can afford to put off. Don't lie and tell yourself you'll get to it next month, next quarter, or after you do a couple more deals. Okay, that's the devil talking and trying to get you to procrastinate. Be an action taker, guys. Do what you need to do to have massive success. Okay, this is the lead source that is an absolute must if you want to get a deal now. And if you want to consistently get deals and sustain affordably in this business. Okay, go here. Okay, so my bad. So When you sign up, you're going to get access, guys, to my 4-week private masterclass. Okay, guys, this is a total value of $50,000. Okay, as part of this package, you're also going to get a lifetime membership to my Flip Hackers community. Now, this is a membership tool to help with all of the scripts, contracts, marketing systems, overview, and more that I use in my own wholesaling business. And this membership also teaches a buyer's list hack, an email blast template that has made me millions in properties sold and is an overnight game changer to get properties easily sold. Okay. Now, when you have this tool, you're going to be able to get deals at a fraction of the cost of your other marketing campaigns and reach sellers that currently are not responding to you or your competitors' other marketing channels like direct mail. Okay. So when you have this tool, you'll be able to relieve the financial pressure caused from direct mail and Google pay-per-click marketing costs. Okay. Now, when you have this tool, you'll also be able to fill in any sales gaps with immediate leads in minutes because you can literally hit a button and have leads coming in. And of course, when you have this tool, guys, you'll be able to get a significantly, exponentially higher return on investment than any other scalable marketing source you've ever done. And it'll change your business forever. When I first started out with this stuff, I ran into a big roadblock. The incoming call volume we received from homeowners was so high that it literally overran our phone lines. And we switched to every major carrier and we got the fanciest iPhone, but nothing would fix it. So I had to find a system that could handle the call volume and still keep the process simple by allowing someone else to monitor the incoming lead messages and skip forward and back while listening to them, save the files, and send the leads over to our sales staff. Now, back then, I had to spend so much money on vendors and systems to get it going. I mean, it was still a heck of a lot more affordable than direct mail, but I was spending a lot more money than we are today. But I don't want you to have to go out and recreate the wheel. Okay, I've already gotten the proven systems in place, and I'm just going to give them to you with this package. Does that sound cool? All right, there's no fancy coding or tech skills needed to set up the systems, okay? It's super simple to get going and start getting more deals on a way cheaper leads right away, okay? So guys, not only are you gonna get access to my cold calling on steroids 4-week private masterclass, but you're also gonna get a lifetime Flip Hackers membership for a combined value of $75,000. Now, to make this as simple as possible, I've recorded each step of the process for cold calling on steroids in a membership site, which I'm giving you access to come back and recall each step even after the 4-week class is over. So when you invest, yeah, patience pays, that's right. So when you invest today, you're also going to get access to the cold calling on steroids private masterclass, members only site. Okay, this will help you after the class to always have the full content that you can come back and recall on in all of those modules. Okay. Now, I had to go through so much frustration and overspend to figure out the best way to make the system work, okay? But you won't have to do that because I'm giving you away the membership site with training modules as a special bonus. And this bonus is going to make it faster and easier for you to set up this whole lead channel correctly and quickly because you can go back and have me and my marketing managers hold your hand in all of the setup videos, okay? So you might be thinking this is all something you can figure out on your own. But unless you want to be like my buddy who hired a whole call center after I told him about cold calling on steroids and then come back around to listen more carefully on each step the second time, you should definitely just take the easy button and instant path and let me show you exactly what has been working for us for years now and made well over 7 figures, okay? So here's what you're going to get, guys. Enrollment into my 4-week private masterclass, lifetime membership to Flip Hackers, the members only login to the back and access the content anytime you want, or to go back and access the content anytime you want. This is a total value, guys, of $80,000. Now, obviously, I'm not going to charge you guys $80,000, okay? But if I did charge you $80,000 and all it did was get you an extra $1 million in wholesale profits for your lifetime, would that be worth it? Right? And if all the system did was turn the most time-proven marketing model into consistent, predictable, fat checks, right, and monthly deals for your business, would it be worth $80,000? Of course. And if all it did was automated and replaced what would be hours spent on the phone or a whole cold calling center, would it be worth it? And made sure that you had calls going out every single day and leads coming in, would it be worth it? And if all it did was got you inbound motivated seller leads for $5 forever, affordable deals every month on demand, would it be worth it? If it changed your life and the lifestyle of your family, is it worth it? So I had two choices with this, guys. I could go as cheap as possible, try to sell as many as possible. The problem with doing that is that I really couldn't stack on the value for you and connect individually with the students to optimize success, which is the priority and purpose of this class. If you want cheap shit content, there's so much out there. You can go find it, okay? We only teach the best stuff and what works and what's changed our life. So I decided to go with the second option, guys, which obviously requires a slightly higher investment on your side, okay? But in exchange for that, we can dedicate more time, more energy, and more resources to help guarantee that you succeed with cold calling on steroids. So if you had cold calling on steroids currently bringing in you multiple deals per month at an insanely low cost per deal, what would that be worth to you? I mean, take a minute and think about that. What would that be worth for you? And how much would you pay to have that successful lead source? Think about that. You can probably see why people pay tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars for the same results from mail and Google. Because we all know that in wholesaling, marketing is not an optional cost. It's an investment. And it's an absolute must if you want to make money and succeed and stay in the game. So you've already seen how it's worth $80,000. And even at $25,000, which is what I've charged to help some major investors implement this in their business, it's an incredible deal, okay? But because I'm so excited to share this with a select group of investors who are totally committed to success and big whys, I'm going to give you a very special offer, okay? Right now and only for this one-time opportunity tonight, okay, I'm going to offer you admission into my private masterclass for cold calling on steroids for only $49.97. Now, this class is not for everyone, so there's a few application questions, and if you're not able to make it into the class, your money will be refunded immediately, okay? There's 20 spots in the class. We have 7 current Flip Hacker students that have already taken those seats. So there's 13 seats left in the class. So go right now to www, don't forget the www.coldcallingonsteroids.com/enroll. In fact, I think there's a link right there you can click to go to, and you can secure your spot right now. And then also, let's see here. I wanted to show you guys. This is just a short sampling of messages that I received recently from masterclass students. Some nice little checks there. Some of you guys might know some of these names. A few more there.
Some people say it's pre-recorded. No way, guys.
It's not recorded. We're in Utah live.
We're
live in Utah.
A couple people were asking, why does it take 4 weeks? I want to get started right now.
So it doesn't take 4 weeks. We get started in the class much, much quicker than that, and the class will start like right away. It's just that there's a lot of content to do this thing right. All right, guys. So at this point, you have two choices. Choice number one is you do nothing. And if you do nothing with the information you've learned over the last half hour or hour, what are you going to get? Nothing. Okay. Or you do the no-brainer and make a ton of money with this system immediately. Just test it out and see if it doesn't start immediately giving you cheap, amazing leads. Okay. Now, the real question is it really worth paying $49.97 to see how to add this deal source correctly? Well, even if I only did half of what I just told you today, it'd pay for itself multiple times on your first deal. Like, insanely. All right, guys. So to recap, here's what you're going to get. Enrollment to my exclusive private Cold Calling on Steroids Masterclass, lifetime membership to Flip Hackers, members access to all the setup videos and training modules anytime you want, access to the private Facebook group only for Cold Calling on Steroids students, and one-on-one time with me inside of the class. All right, guys. So we've got 30 minutes, and it's Plato o Plomo time, baby.
So people are cruising to the apply page. So they have to go to the enroll page first.
Oh, okay. So go to Cold Calling on Steroids, guys, /enroll is the page you want to go into. And then it'll hit the application after you do your deposit. So guys, bribe or bullet. Okay. I have a t-shirt in which I'm not wearing it right now, but a mentor of mine gave it to me and with a good conversation about taking the bribe or taking the bullet. Now you take the bribe, you get what you want. You don't take the bribe, you get the bullet. So in this case, the bullet is not having leads coming in to you consistently and affordably. And it's hard to survive without that, okay? The bribe, you jump in the class and change your life forever, okay? Now you've got to be committed and all in. So I say plata o plomo, baby. Guys, look at, I mean, these testimonials. This is the why I do it. Obviously, we're very busy in our own wholesaling operation. Why do I even take the time to share this stuff? Guys, it's not for $49.97 ticket sales. I promise you that. Not when assignments are 4 times that, and it takes this much time for a webinar, and right? And we're just pumping deals all the time. The reason I do this is because when Spencer goes into the Facebook thing, and when Dean sends me this text message for this $60,000 assignment, and Daniel gets this $55,000, and what I like even more, you know, people like John here. John's the guy that texted me. Let's see if I can go on my phone here. I think I've got it on airplane mode. Whoop.
Couple dudes are jumping in flip packing somehow instead.
He's the one that just sent me a text at the beginning of this webinar. He's got another deal, but this is from a couple weeks ago, 26K closing. Now look at Prince here. He did a simple adjustment. I gave him 43 leads out in Dallas, Texas, right away. Now Matt is in Philadelphia, and Matt is in his first year of wholesaling. He just sent me this message a couple weeks ago. He booked his spot to go to Dallas at a sales intensive we're doing next month. And so he was texting me. He said, got it, got my ticket paid, did 134,000 this month. Now he was talking about August of 2018, so last month now. There's 118,000 on the books for September, and I still don't have a clue. What he says is I don't still have a clue. It means he's still a newbie. He's still in his first year. Now, Matt, when he came to me, had a couple of VAs calling for him. He was having a little bit of success with cold calling. He's now fully on cold calling on steroids, not running the VAs. He's awesome. He'll crush it. I just connected him and another big-time Florida who's also cold calling on steroids masterclass member, Nick Estes. A lot of guys probably know him. He's lives in Miami, operates up in Portland, Maine, big Instagram guy. Just was connecting these two. You'll meet these guys inside of the masterclass. These guys are in the Facebook group, and we're a whole community of abundance and sharing mindset and stuff. So it's pretty awesome. All right, guys. Another check here. Oh, somebody was saying, like, do newbies ever do it? Here's somebody. I put a little briefcase there. I didn't know how to hide the check number. When she sent me this message, it was in a private little group we have. She didn't blur it out, so I had to blur out the check number. But first wholesale deal ever. Look, I think that was like a $7,500 check. That was literally just a message in the last week that I got. And here's another one. This is John. This was, I think, his first deal, and this was just like a couple months ago. He was in the last masterclass. He got 15.9. He got that 26 one, and then he just texted me tonight. Guys, killing it. Brand new in this. This was just the other day. I actually had posted this. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably saw me put this on like my story. All right, guys. So I'm pumped. Don't wait. Do it right now. I'm so excited to see you guys in the class.
We got 10 of them sold so far.
Whoop, whoop. So I think we only have like 3 more spots. So go really quick right now. Christian just said we've already had 10 people jump in. Guys, this will change everything. As soon as you jump in, you'll actually there's another quick little 2-minute overview I give you on something else that will change your business if you are so inclined. But either way, cold calling is going to change everything. So I'm so excited for those 10 of you that already got in. And I know that we're gonna book out those last 3 here probably by the time I get off. Guys, don't wait. Like you said, do it right now. I'm so excited for you guys in the class that are jumping in and who are getting this going. I'm so excited to get it going with you guys immediately too in your business and getting you more deals, more money and more freedom, right? That's why we do it. So thank you guys all. Appreciate you guys for sharing part of your evening with me.
The intensive, he said, can we get a refund for that? I got a couple other questions too.
For the intensive? That's so funny.
Well, I accidentally bought the intensive.
That's so funny. Yeah, we'll take care of you no matter what. We'll look forward to seeing you guys out in Dallas. And if you're already booked for Dallas, you jump in the masterclass here, which you will want to. If you want to jump in the masterclass, don't think just you're going to come to Dallas and get all that in Dallas, because I'll talk about cold calling for about an hour. There's no way to cover it all. So, but what you will get is you'll be getting hooked up on Dallas, which you'll see as soon as you go through the process there. So excited to connect with you guys inside the masterclass. See some of you guys in Dallas if you already know about that. If not, that's tough. It's kind of a rough one because we already sold out the venue and we only left a few spots for the people that get in the masterclass tonight that want to go to Dallas. So anyways, guys, I am pumped for you guys. Look forward to connecting with you.
About payment options.
Oh, payment options. So guys, we only have 3 spots right now. So I think it's probably going to go out. We don't ever want to leave anybody hanging. So go to the site right now if you're completely stuck, what can we do, Christian? You want me to have him send you an email, and we'll meet and figure it out. Yeah. So send an email. You want to put your email right there in the comments, Christian. Yeah, Christian's going to drop his email in right now, guys, in our office. So send him an email if you want to jump in, and it's just a money thing at the very moment, and we'll figure it out. But obviously, guys, there's no guarees. Like I said, I don't even think we have those 3 spots now. That was like 5 minutes ago. So anyways, guys, if you're ready to go, reach out to us, reach out to Christian there. We'll connect with you and find a way to make it happen. If you guys are ready to take action, ready to crush it, and ready to do it, then we're going to help you get there, whatever we have to do. So if there's so much money, why don't you let us get the leads and subtract the amount you are charging after we make the money? That's like the funniest, or that's like the most common thing I ever get asked. And I get so many people that DM me all the time saying, Josh, how about, can I get in your class and then I'll give you a 30% split on my deals or 50% split on my deals or whatever. And here's the thing, guys, if you're asking that question, you've got to change your mindset, because that mindset is absolutely not going to get you to the next level. Okay. You have got to be willing to take action, right? It's just things that separate you from the competition. So spending, tens of thousands of dollars in a month on direct mail and Google, like those are not easy decisions to do. But when you do those, it's the things that your competitors won't do. They're gonna separate yourself. So if there's 20 spots, now down to a couple spots, obviously those people are willing to do something no one else is willing to do. They're gonna get results no one else is gonna get. Right. So if it's just like, well, hey, like just tell me for free, I'll kind of give you something. Like if you don't have any money in it, your heart's not going to be there either. Right. My pastor talks about this all the time in church. It's like, guys, you're not going to stay engaged in the church and know what's going on and all this kind of stuff. Now we don't have 13 seasons. Now we have 3. If you're not giving, if you're not invested in, but when you put the money there, all of a sudden your heart follows. You start knowing what's going on. You start caring. So anyways, guys, I'm excited for you guys in the masterclass. Can't wait to connect with you. Thank you for sharing some time of your evening with me. And to those of you in Dallas, it's going to be awesome. Go out there and crush it. Peace out.